Hi April, thanks for sending me your swim video for analysis. The first things I'm looking at are breathing, body balance, rotation, and kick. Those four things kind of all go together because each one impacts the other. As far as breathing goes, you look very comfortable breathing. I'm going to include an article about 5 things that cause breathlessness. I don't think you're having problems with breathlessness. So let's move on. I'll move on to breathing when I talk about rotation. So as far as the kick goes, you want to kick up and down. You want to make sure you're using your hip flexors and quads. You want to keep your toes together and move up and down, and be careful not to do any type of split kick. Always have a nice steady stream of your legs moving. The kick is there for balance. It's not there for propulsion. One of the things that could cause breathlessness is if you kick too much. So think about the kick as balance, and it doesn't take much from your legs to provide balance. You just want your body on top of the water. So let's look at rotation. You're a bilateral breather, which is good because it automatically gets you to rotate from hip to hip. You don't have to breathe to a certain side to be rotating on your hip. You just want to know as you enter with your left arm, you rotate on your left hip. As you enter with your right arm, you rotate on your right hip. And what's driving the rotation is the underwater pull. So you don't have much strength at all in your pull. I'll get to that a little bit later. So think about as your left arm enters, your right arm just pull. It drove your left hip rotation. As your right arm enters, your left arm just pulled. It drove your right hip rotation. So in the sport of swimming, you're either on your left hip or right hip. Breathing. Let's talk a little bit about breathing. One issue you do have with breathing is when you're rotating to the right to inhale, your arm is dropping and it's almost crossing over your body. So by the time you get your inhale, your arm is way down here. So when you turn your head in the water to take a pull, your arm's already down here. It already fell. So the balance part of this equation, when I said breathing, body balance, rotation, and kick, is when you breathe, you're going to be a little bit extra extended on that inhalation. You're going to extend your arm to help with that balance. Take a breath and inhalation, turn your head back in, and then take a pull. Okay? Every time you breathe, you tend to lose a pull or propulsive force because you don't have that balance point right in here. So let's move on to the 3 main phases of the stroke. Recovery is number 1. What's going on with your arm out of the water? When you get the body rotation, you should be leading with your elbow. High elbow above your wrist, above your fingertips, leading with your elbow, entering with fingertips. As you enter, you rotate, enter with fingertips, wrist, elbow, because that's going to set you up for what's called a high elbow above your wrist, push, high elbow catch, followed by the push, which makes up the pull. So you kind of have this low elbow recovery, so I'm going to recommend the thumb slide drill, fingertip drag drill to help with your entry, and it's going to set you up, help with your recovery, and that'll help set you up with a better entry. And it also will help with rotation. So work on that, getting the elbow pointed up, high elbow, fingertips low. When you enter, you rotate, and ultimately, once you get that recovery and entry down, that's going to set you up for a catch. And when you push all the way behind you, pushing between your belly button and your hip because you're rotating. You enter, you rotate. As you're pulling, you're starting that rotation, and the exit of the hand drives to complete the rotation. Because right now you have a catch, but it's in the wrong spot, and you have a tendency to cross over your body because you're just not quite catching at the right spot. Therefore, you're not having a strong, powerful pull. So, in summary, I'm still going to recommend a few balance drills. I'll send you a little bit more text about that in an email. Definitely the fingertip drag, thumb slide drill for sure to get that recovery better. And being aware of after you enter, you rotate, your arm starts to fall, and it's going to find this place where it catches and pushes. Pretend there's a ball or barrel, and you're reaching over the ball and barrel to catch and push. A lot of times beginner swimmers have a more difficult time knowing what to do after they enter. But in your case, I don't want to start with the underwater pull. I want to fix the other elements first, and then we can do another assessment, see where you're at, and then we can try to fix that underwater pull. Again, I'll send a lot more details of this swim analysis in the email that I'm going to send you. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you make it a great day.